Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TheA.S.SholesOpinion. And now, your hosts, Dirk Shillington and Tracy Cheddar.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the show. Okay, that's my piece. What do you got?
What do you got, brother? I heard you got something really good that's working down this vein of NGOs and illegal immigration and how the rest of the world is behaving and, where we stack up. So what you got?
Well, brother, and everybody out here that is going to watch this. This is important stuff. The rest of the world has realized what this mass immigration does to a country, and they're taking action. What are we doing? We're doing nothing. We're trying to legalize all the Haitians and everybody to be able to vote. This morning there was 350,000 in Florida alone that they were trying to legalize to vote. And I would say to you, whoever they were going to vote for is not the person we want in office. Because what you're going to have is more of the same. And after you see this, you're going to realize what's going on around the globe, that we have the power to change and won't. So, so that should kick us off. And I think the first thing we're going to do is take a look at one of the countries. I believe it's Spain is going to come first, and we're going to see their position on all this and what's going on there. So,
all right, brother, let's play this video and check it out.
All right, let's hit it.
A large group of people was approaching the border with Ceuta from the Moroccan side.
Dozens of people desperately clambering to get onto that boat. It is a chaotic scene.
Around 5,000 migrants from Morocco, including 1,500 minors, have reached the Spanish borders for what they call in search of a better life.
Have you noticed? Something big is happening in Europe. Countries are taking extreme measures to tighten their borders, and it's happening fast. Germany, the Netherlands, and Hungary, 3 nations from different parts of the continent, are closing their borders all at the same time. But this is just the start. Spain is taking back control and has just implemented new border controls that could change everything. Countries are standing up against the woke EU policies that are enforced on them. But what's the catalyst? Why is it all happening at once, and what country will follow next?
10 measures to end beep invasion and stop false refugees coming to Spain. First, demand that they apologize and leave. Second, no more lies. Illegal, mass, and indiscriminate immigration is neither good nor inevitable. It is a crime and a danger to the survival of Europe. Third, message to the world. Let's send a clear message. Europe will no longer be a paradise for false refugees. No foreigner who enters illegally will ever receive social aid, residency permits, asylum, or protection. Your protection is our law. If you don't follow it, you won't be protected. Fourth, combat human trafficking. Use all available means to fight human trafficking mafias and put an end to slavery. Let's fight with everything we have, enter their homes, raid their boats, arrest them, and imprison them. Also, hold accountable those NGOs that collaborate by sending large ships funded with public money to bring them to our ports. Fifth, mass deportation plan. Launch the biggest deportation plan in history. Suspend aid to countries failing to control immigration. Suspend all aid to third countries that don't manage their immigration properly. Sixth, no nationality for illegal entrants. Never grant nationality to anyone who has entered Europe illegally. Close extremist mosques. Immediately close Salafist and Wahhabi mosques that promote anti-Western views. Seventh, reform the asylum system. Change the asylum regime. Eighth, media accountability. Demand that all media outlets report the origin and identity of aggressors, under the penalty of losing public subsidies.
Today, we will explain how Spain has stood up to the EU by putting the Spanish people first and making profound changes to immigration. We will also explain the political motives and rising tensions reshaping the region's immigration policies. Before we explain what happened, it's important to know that Spain has always been a champion of open-door immigration policies. From 1999 to 2009, Spain's population surged from 40 to 47 million, driven almost entirely by immigration. By 2024, Foreign-born residents made up over 18% of Spain's population, with more than 5 million coming from non-European countries. But things have taken a dramatic turn. For most of the 21st century, Spain was one of Europe's most welcoming nations for migrants. It wasn't just about humanitarian values, it was also about economic necessity. With an aging population, Spain needed young, working-age migrants to sustain its labor market. By 2023, immigrants accounted for 64% of all new jobs and 50% of economic growth, making their contribution impossible to ignore. Spain even passed legislation to regularize 500,000 undocumented migrants, signaling a progressive stance compared to other European countries. But here's the twist. Despite this pro-migrant stance, Spain is beginning to crack under pressure. In 2023, the number of illegal arrivals increased by 82% compared to the previous year, with nearly 57,000 migrants reaching Spain illegally. The situation is particularly dire in Spain's Canary Islands, where regional authorities declared a state of emergency. Between January and June 2024, 19,300 people made the dangerous journey from Africa to the Canary Islands by boat, a 167% increase compared to the same period the year before. So, what's driving this shift? For starters, Spain's welfare system is under immense strain. Unlike other EU countries, Spain's social housing and welfare programs are relatively limited. This has meant that the arrival of large numbers of migrants hasn't led to the kind of benefits competition seen in countries like the UK or Germany, but it has left local governments scrambling to provide basic services like housing and healthcare. Public sentiment, once largely in favor of immigration, is shifting rapidly. One of the clearest signs of this change is the rise of Vox, Spain's far-right political party. Vox has capitalized on growing concerns about migration, particularly in regions like Catalonia, where 60% of residents now believe there is too much immigration. Vox's electoral gains have pushed the ruling socialist government to take on a tougher stance on immigration. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, who once publicly rejected the EU's trivialization of mass migration, has now started signing circular migration agreements with African nations like Gambia, Senegal, and Mauritania. What do these agreements mean? Essentially, they allow workers from these countries to come to Spain for a set period of time to meet labor demands, especially in sectors like agriculture, before returning to their countries of origin. While this may sound like a win-win, critics argue it's a short-term solution that does little to address the long-term challenges Spain faces. It's clear that Spain is at a turning point. A country once seen as an outlier for its pro-immigrant policies is now following a path that looks more and more like the rest of Europe. The question is, will this be enough to address the challenges Spain faces?
Well, it's good to see that somebody's doing something in Europe, Germany, Spain. It's crazy that the level of, well, now we call them false refugees, or the fact that this immigration problem is going on across the world, Dirk.
Yeah, it's disturbing that we're not paying attention to it to the point where we're willing to do something. We're okay with the numbers. We're okay with the fact that we can't support that many people in this country. And when you look at the extent that they're going to, and they were pro-immigration, as the video says, you know, they brought in a lot of people from all over, and they've realized that you can't sustain this, and it's got to stop. Are you trying to hurt anybody? No, but you can't. You can't desecrate your own civilization trying to help somebody else. And I think our government, I think everybody involved, it should be charged with treason. And there needs to be a change in Washington, honestly. So.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at Spain's 10-point plan in that video there. I kind of have to chuckle about they need to apologize and leave. Well, okay, I agree with it. It's kind of funny that you think you may get that response.
Yeah.
But,
Good luck with that.
other than that, I mean, those 10 points we need to do. I mean, and it's not that we want to see people suffer or anything like that, but our politicians were elected to represent us. The resources that they're giving to these people in mass are our resources. We're struggling here. And they're opening our doors and giving up more and more. But, and I mean, to me, it still tracks to the money. We can't support the debt we have. We can't continue to provide resources for people with that debt. So we need to try to create a whole new tax base and people to take advantage of, and just, to try to keep this shitstorm afloat. But, brother, America, wake up, please. We can't continue like this.
Yeah.
Right, Dirk?
Like I was just saying, here's the other side of that. That's great. We're looking at creating a tax base. How does that help me, you, and everybody in this country? How does that help every citizen? It doesn't. It helps the government because they keep printing money. So they're trying to create a larger tax base so they have more money to spend. On what? Let's stop. Let's stop this government. Make it we the people, for the people, by the people. End this.
Well, and that's the other part of it, brother. They're hoping to get 20 million new voters. They're hoping to get a lock on the party politics and win the battle. That's
Right.
part of the problem here. Both sides are guilty of not solving this problem. This isn't a Republican or Democratic problem. It's both of them, party politics. It's got to be addressed.
Yeah, and I haven't said Republican or Democrat, brother. It's government. Government is the problem. And, this is the first in a series, and I'll tell you what, at the end of this, we're going to go over what America, what we are doing that affects us, the American citizens in this country. And then you're going to probably want to go back and watch this video again, along with the rest of the series, and you'll see what's really going on, at least part of it, the part that we've dug up for this little series. And this is far from over. So,
absolutely. And people, if there's one thing you remember and take away from this first piece, hold the NGOs accountable. And you'll see why in the coming episodes.
Yeah, that's absolutely
very
right.
good, brother.
All right, yeah, let's wrap this first part up. We're going to be coming right back, I say within a day or two, with the second part, and a lot of really good shows, information, and it's all about us. It really is, all of us. So everybody that has chosen to tune in, we appreciate it. Thank you. Stick with us.
Absolutely. Thanks. Click like, subscribe, give us some information, feedback. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.
Join us on our live show Wednesday,
Absolutely.
6:30 Eastern. See ya.
See ya.